Hi everyone, welcome to Planted Seed. My name is Jessica and I'm the founder of Planted Seed. Brought on Miguel today for What's Your Story Wednesdays. Hi Miguel.
Hey.
Tell us about you and just tell us a little bit about you, give us a little background and yeah.
Cool. So my name is Miguel. I'm also known on IG as Positive Soul Shaker. I am a father of three, divorced father of three. My profession is a subconscious mind coach and a meditation guide as well. That's just kind of like some
The gist.
The
gist. So actually, Miguel and I, we go back to our younger partier days and dancing and house music all the time, baby. They don't know about us now. But you know, in all actuality, you know, we graduated from high school. Obviously, you went to school. What is that? Essex County,
No.
Passaic County.
Yeah,
Passaic County, and Clifton High. Okay, so can you give me some background on, like, you know, you trying to figure yourself out in high school? Like, what was your situation in high school?
Yeah. So I mean. School in general for me at such a young age, I wasn't sure if it was for me because I was very into my friends and stuff like that. The academic side wasn't. It was kind of a bore to me in a sense. The only academic that I liked or the subject was astronomy, like the stars and stuff like that.
Love that.
And even biology, like that.
Yeah.
That always like fascinated me. But I guess I'll speak to you here.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But
were you speaking to everyone?
What I was just trying to figure myself out, like figure out like was school for me, right? And kind of like navigate through that by my attention span, I guess, wasn't there
Yeah.
for like a lot of like the teachers and like
There was no
and the
connection.
subject. There was no connection. Like I what I craved was just to kind of like hang out, be with friends, explore hands-on and stuff like that. So I've actually didn't finish high school. I dropped out and got my GED, which was a lot faster for me to get. I think for me it was more so like short courses and really understanding what worked for me, right? So GED helped me out. I got my high school diploma there. And then I enrolled myself into college, I guess. My mother helped me out, get into Bergen Community College first, which wasn't for me because that took a lot. Then Passaic Community College, which I ended up doing about maybe 3 semesters and didn't really finish that as well. The education wasn't for me there. Again, I was
You learn more with experiences. Yeah. Okay.
So, for me, I mean, if I go back to high school or college now with the experiences and now eager to learn more and acquire more information, I would thrive in like college or high school in that sense. Like if I were to take myself back into high school or even tell myself like my 13, 14, 15-year-old self, like, yo, hang in there just for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're gonna find that sweet spot between knowing that knowledge and that information and the growth within school. It's there. You just got to kind of like wait it out. And then once you're out of that, you'll have all the time to hang out with your friends and stuff like that. So I just learned the opposite way.
That's actually one of my questions to you. Like, you know, what would you tell your younger teenage self? And I think that's a wonderful thing to say because, you know, right now there's these kids, our teens are, you know, we're social media driven.
Yep.
And as for us, like, we didn't have that growing up. So that disconnect is there, but they have so many people trying to live to keep up with the Joneses, to keep up with the Kardashians, to keep up with such a lifestyle that it's attainable, but in reality, it's not, you know, and
it's not for us.
Really, right.
Or for the majority of people. It may work for some families or for some teenagers.
Yeah.
And it may not work for others. And that's where it's like, that's where the disconnection comes. It's like we begin to talk down to ourselves or get disappointed. Why can't I live up to that standard? Well, maybe that's not the standard that you're supposed to be living by. Right? Like, we have our own moral standards or our principles or our way of living that will help us succeed, right? Like, for me, it helped me succeed to experience life more, to get my GED, make my education a lot shorter, and experience life and be as knowledgeable or filled with wisdom or whatever you want to call it, and be thriving in the world and living well.
Right. So, like, did you have any insecurities or any fears when you were in high school? Because, there's a lot of people,
for sure.
Different levels of insecurities.
Yeah. But my insecurity stemmed from third grade. I remember third grade, all I wanted to do is just bring toys into school and play.
That inner
and show
child.
my friends. Yeah.
That inner child.
Right? And then I remember being at a conference, and this is a story I worked through and kind of like shifted the narrative, but I'll tell you what the narrative was. When I was in the conference and being a part where my mom was there, and my folders were all filled with like F's and all that stuff, and I felt that I wasn't smart enough. And I remember, like, at that time, or the narrative was the teacher saying, Miguel maybe, needs help, needs special help or something like that at that moment. And that was a narrative that carried with me throughout high school. And I felt like I wasn't as smart or I wouldn't do well in school. And that was the insecurity. It's like, fuck,
You're good.
If I fail the test, right, or if I fail anything, I won't amount to anything, whatever it is. So I just decided to continue hanging out and not put like all my efforts into like all the subjects. So the insecurity was not being smart enough and not being able to retain information.
Smart enough to
like
society, school, to their standards and their and their expectations. Correct.
Yeah. So that was the insecurity, and that was just like a limit that I was putting on myself throughout the entire high school, even up until maybe about almost like 2 years ago, or even a year ago. Like, it still lingers, and I always have to shift that narrative, and the way I shift that narrative to kind of help me through that insecurity is just rewriting whatever story I was telling myself back then. And I shifted that story from me being in the conference and the teacher being just a little concerned of my grade, but how creative I am, and how much like knowledge I obtain, and the way I embody that, the way I share that information, or how I can like give it back to the teacher, or whenever they ask, I show through embodiment. And that's how I'm able to like okay, I may not speak like others like clearly and stuff like that, but I embody and I show that, and that's how I share that. So that's how I work through my insecurity even till now.
That's so intense. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to ask, did you have any role models? Did you have anyone that you really like looked up to, throughout that high school journey and throughout all this time?
Throughout high school, not really. I didn't really have any. The only role model I really had was my mother, and the reason why I say that, it's not the educational side more so, it's just the work ethic. Like, she work, she hustles. She's gone to school, high school and everything like that, college. She's done everything. Right. So she's more so of just like, you got to be on the grind, you got to do this, you got to know how to talk, you got to know how to please people to kind of like make it through life and sell your things, or the sales. Like, she's got the gift of gab. Like, she knows how to talk, and I feel like I picked that up from her.
Of course,
for sure.
That's such an awesome trait to have too. And it's a skill. It's really a skill.
Her, like, she was my role model. But as far as anyone else, I mean, the other role models I had at the time were just like actors and stuff. Because I've always wanted to become an actor.
Right. Listen, I can see it.
Yeah. And I resonated with them, just because some of them didn't finish like high school or whatever it is, and they went to go pursue acting careers or exploring and traveling and really doing that. So I resonated with that more. That was like at the core of my soul, and that's what helped me at least try to finish my sophomore year, get my GED, and then go a little bit into college and
get that experience.
Yeah, get that experience, and then just know that it's not for me, and I thrive in other ways.
Right. So can you tell us a fun fact?
Sure.
Even though I think I probably know them too, but
fun fact in what sense?
Whatever you want. Tell me a fun fact about Miguel.
Well, I love hiking. So
hence why I have hiking gear on, right?
Hence why we're outdoors
yeah.
as well. Fun fact is just I thrive out in nature. I get all my creativity out here. I've lived on the road for 2 months with my dog, so that was awesome.
I lived vicariously through every video, so can't wait to tag his page because it's exceptional.
That's definitely a fun fact, living on the road and kind of like understanding how to live there, what you need, what the necessities are. That was a struggle and very
because
challenging.
we're in a materialistic world, and how can you be minimal?
Yeah, but what's beautiful is that I've actually, for 2 years leading up to that living on the road, is I've let go of a lot of like clothes and stuff like that. I wear plain t-shirts, like nothing like so fancy. I have like 4 pair of shoes and stuff like that, which I probably wear like 1 out of all of them, mainly, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a minimalist to say, like, I don't really need much, though, like my gadgets. Like, I'm an Aquarius, I love my gadgets. I practice urine therapy, so that's something that you guys can look into, right? It's urine therapy, your tea, just Google it. I won't dive into that now. So that's definitely a fun fact. Not a lot of people embrace.
Yes.
It takes a long time to grasp.
No judgment, but
go on my page. I have it on there. I speak about UT on there, Positive Soul Shaker on IG. And another fun fact is, I don't know. I just like to experience life like full on. I throw myself into the world, and it's just. I guess that would be like the fun fact.
Yeah. So what can you be able to tell the audience, because obviously this audience is for our audience is parents who are struggling with their teens and they're trying to figure out their teens, but in all of essence you're not getting to know your teens. So what can you tell these teens right now who are struggling to find a voice, who are trying to be themselves, but because of society, because of their parents, they're trying to fit into these constructs that are not them. They're trying to be who they are. What advice or what gems, I like to call them, what can you tell teens right now who are struggling or who are maybe in a similar situation as you?
Yeah. I would definitely say, again, I'm a subconscious mind coach and a meditation guide. Right, and also I practice breath work and breathing, knowing how to breathe, and meditating and sitting with yourself and asking yourself the questions: what is it that I truly want as a teenager? What do I want in life? How do I want to live? Right, and if I'm doing something right now, am I happy with it? If I'm not happy, is that mine or is that my parents'? If it's my parents, how can I detach from that and find my own voice, my own power, my own purpose, my own mission, right? So meditation and breath will help open that up by simply sitting with yourself in an open space like this. If you don't have this accessible to you, in your own either backyard, your room, make it nice and cozy, find plants, sit there, breathe, right? And I guess like I can share this with you guys on this page as well. We're taught to breathe in our chest, and that brings a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
When we breathe into our belly, fully in, expanding the belly as you inhale, and then exhaling, collapsing the belly, really just like emptying yourself out. Doing that for about 5 minutes just to start off, and then going into meditation with binaural beats, binaural frequencies, will allow yourself to tap into your mind or your higher self, right? Just to kind of in tune with you and knowing what it is you want, and you'll be surprised to hear that voice is like, yeah, this is where you need to be. And marketing is where you want to go. And lawyer may not be yours, marketing is, or whatever it is. Finding that voice, stillness will give you that clarity, and breath work will give you a lot of the oxygen within the body and ground you into meditation to find that inner voice, find the truth, and be more confident and upright, and really kind of just go through life. So that's the advice I would give, and that's the advice I give my kids, to remain still, breathe fully, and find that voice and that clarity to speak from the heart and find your purpose from the heart.
Yeah. So obviously, in wrapping up, can you tell us any updates, anything that you're doing with your business as of right now?
Yeah. So right now I'm in the process of integration, and what I mean by that is I've been learning a lot about myself, a lot about my shadow and shadow work, and I speak about that on my page as well. So I'm in the steps of integrating and seeing what works with me and how I can bring that into my practice with my clients, with my kids as well. It's just working through that and how to incorporate that into my 8-week programs that I have, which I'm revamping at the moment as well. Adding new like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, right? Shadow work, and also mindfulness, breath work, meditation practices. That's all going to be packaged in my 8-week journey with the coaching and breath work and meditation as well. So that's what I'm working on now. I have that available. So we're able to work one-on-one. I have the consultations that we can dive into where it is that you're at now and where you would like to be, and how to bridge that, really how to bring that close. And really tap into that and live that through meditation, really anchor it in and really feeling that. So that's where I'm at now.
This is so awesome. And I really hope you guys take advantage of this. Again, we are taking clients at this time with Planted Seed. Thank you so much, Miguel, for your time, and thank you for telling your story on What's Your Story Wednesdays. And I think it's so important, and I hope that it resonates with at least one or two teens out there who are struggling maybe with anxiety, depression. This is more of a holistic way of addressing it. So thank you so much. Again, you can find us on Instagram at Planted Seed Group. You can find us at our website, and this is where you can also do, you can fill out the form so I can contact you and we can get you started at planted-seedgroup.com. And we are also on YouTube, so please subscribe to our channel. You can find it in the link in our bio. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.
Peace.
Bye.